Welcome to my spoiler review of Mortal Kombat II. Much like the video game that inspired it, this movie, built on the strengths of its predecessor, will also proving to be a great work on its own. So, let's open it up. The film opens on the Kingdom of Edenia, where King Jared faces off against the leader of Outworld, Shao Kahn. Much like its predecessor, it wastes no time in earning its R rating. Despite a valiant effort from Jared, he's ultimately defeated when Shao Kahn impales him with his hammer. He thereby takes control of the kingdom, with Sindel, played by Anna Wen, as his queen. Though this movie does keep the continuity of the previous installment, it does do a good job of explaining its events in case one hasn't seen it. They even dropped the Arcana aspect from the first film, with mechanical arms and ninjas that can breathe fire while dual wielding chain kunai is coming to the territory. No weirder than Star Fox helping the Mario Brothers stop Bowser and Jr. after all. Many years pass, with Kitana now having grown up alongside her adopted sister Jade, both of whom wield their weapons from the games. The previous alumni from the last movie are also back. The sequel leans even further into characters and concepts from the games. Case in point, my main and favorite character, Johnny Cage, he actually does a good job of putting his own spin on the character, and though his best years may be behind him, doing fan conventions for drinking money, having implied to be living out of his car, I just love the uncaged fury filmed in the film that introduces him. It's little touches that make it work. Game accurate cosmetics and emotes, editing may not be able to something I would see on Encore or USA Network in the afternoon, and the helicopter being blown up clearly being a scale model. Though he is reluctant, dismissing the idea of the tournament, he finds out the hard way he doesn't exactly have a choice in the matter. Even though he doesn't have his powers yet, he's still a trained martial artist. Likewise, though Quan Chi, played with Darren Harriman, may not be an active fighter like he is in the games, he is still quite the skilled necromancer. I still find it darkly humorous that when Kano is resurrected, he's still such a violent edgelord that there wasn't much left to corrupt as a revenant. So dressing Raiden as Gandalf, alongside a later scene Outworld, is doubly amusing, as Lord of the Rings films only share the same distributor, New Line. Carl Urban was actually in them before anyone knew who he was. Discourse aside, I will just deal with the hump for Gollum as it comes. Cage dismisses the idea of a reboot, saying that people would rather see Keanu Reeves murdering 1,000 fucking dudes with a pencil. I do like the cameo from co-creator Ed Boon serving him at the bar. Sure enough, gets sent in the battle the moment he finishes his drink. Apart from otherworldly powers being CGI, something that's come a long way since 1995, the hand-to-hand fights are largely done practically. I do like Johnny just falling down after Kitana declines to finish him, which happens after an opponent runs out of stamina. Sonya Blade has better luck in her match against Sindel, placing her head on a pike in the bottom of the pit. Shao Kahn remarks on a previous accident, implying she tried in vain to leave her throne and marriage early. Elsewhere, Kano agrees to give Quan Chi the amulet he took in exchange for restoring his laser eye. Just as Kitana's necklace is tied to Raiden, the amulet is tied to Shao Kahn. I also think it's a nice touch how Cole mentions sending his family to a safe house and being called to fight just as the last grains of sand fall through the hourglass. His fight, which ends Act 1 in the Dead Pool, with the shot even being framed like the game but only for a moment. Though I never asked strongly about Cole Young's character as others, I intuited he was this continuity's version of Shirai Ryu. Even I was floored when Shao Kahn crushed his skull and dissolved his body in the acid bath. Lost count of how many times that happened to me in the games. It would inverse what happened in 1987's Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which has become something of a bad movie classic in the same vein as The Room or Samurai Cop. Elsewhere, Jax wins his match against Jade, but can sense there's good in her, Act 2 begins with Liu Kang's match against the Revenant Kung Lao and some other highlights. I was even pleased to find the latter's actor, Max Wang, was part of Jackie Chan's stunt team. Same with Kitana's double being the same actor who fired a rocket at Johnny in the Uncaged Fury movie within movie. Liu Kang realized he must do to save his brother, winning the match. Really enjoy the portal stage rendering here. In order to stop Shao Kahn, the amulet that empowered him must be destroyed. Since Raiden is indisposed from Kung Lao's razor hat, the remaining fighters for Earthrealm need a way into the castle. Why, you may ask? Can they simply just use Kitana's protective charm Raiden gave her as a child and walk in the front door? If they did, every guard in the castle would overwhelm them. So, instead, they must find a way in the service tunnels, which are less heavily guarded. In order to do that, they must form an alliance with the Tarkatan leader Baraka. Though he is reluctant, he is egged on by Johnny in a pretty hilarious, not safe for work exchange. There's also the moment where Johnny's character officially gets it, especially when he pulls the sunglasses from his jacket. It's showtime. Winning the match, Johnny has gained Baraka's trust and entry in the castle. However, Shao Kahn planned for this by Hunt being reborn as Noob Saibot, complete with a game-accurate costume. His other bodies are even a nice stand-in for the Lin Kuei cyborgs. So Jax and Liu Kang do not survive the assault on the castle. They do gain an ally in Jade, who cracks a symbol on her staff, with the green glow making it even more powerful. Kitana also defects to Earthrealm, which is honestly not that different from sessions in the games I've had, fueled by Pepsi and mozzarella sticks. Not to remember or leaving a coin on the cabinet. Basically, that generation's equivalent to online queuing. Even Kano is no fan of Outworld, so it lacks little niceties such as hot ladies, cold drinks, and on-demand entertainment. As Kitana confronts Shao Kahn, Kano and Johnny find an ally in a reformed Hanzo Hazashi, better than a scorpion. Though Johnny has shown his martial arts skills throughout the movie, it's a residual charge in destroying the amulet that gives him his energy blasts and chi-boosted melee moves from the games. That is why he's been among my mains and my favorite character for years. With the amulet destroyed and Raiden's wounds healed, Kitana finishes Shao Kahn and restores peace to the Kingdom of Edenia. Followers chant, like her father before her, Kitana, our queen. We close on the film's events being recounted around the campfire, Earthrealm victorious, and a vow to find their friends with Quan Chi in tow. The credits roll to a fantastic arrangement of the Techno Syndrome theme, maybe just because part of my head never mentally aged past the mid to late 90s, but that kind of EDM just does it for me. The movie naturally outgrows its predecessor at the box office, taking in $79 million domestically and $109 million worldwide, making it the most successful installment franchise to date. And success in HBO Max and other home media does bode well for his proposed third film, regardless of whether or not Warner Mount comes to fruition. I also enjoyed the best reactions, and since the first live-action film in 1995, with not even 2 strikes of the pandemic being enough to stop the sequel, I am glad I finally got a chance to share more with you all. I'll talk to you all again soon. Take care.